it's your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Test, test, test. There we go. This is what happens when you don't live stream from this machine for a few days. I apologize, but now we should be 5 by 5. I'm watching the little meter go back and forth, jump up and down. And so somebody give me a 5 by 5, that would be super duper. Although I'm pretty sure I'm 100% right. I still need that. I still need that community um, pat on the back for doing stuff right. Even though I totally screwed it up here 4 minutes into the video, which is super duper. All right, so I'm seeing that 5 by 5. I want to thank you. We're gonna go ahead and knock the morning accolades out. Why can I not scroll up any further? This chat is doing some very weird stuff, guys. Let me go to the other chat real quick here. See if I can do this properly. It's such a pain in the buttocks. I don't know why. It's not happy with me. It's not doing what I want it to do. Now I have to close that. And then it's going to come flying back to that window. Sorry about all this, guys, but I want to give proper. I need to. There we go. Damn it. I want to say it was Donna was the first one in here, or possibly Rose, or the freaking thing is covering it up. Somebody start. Somebody was first. Number two, I got Rose popped off, giving me $5 to extend the live stream, so we're almost there. Your time to chat has expired. I've broken something. I don't know. Anyway, alrighty then. Number two, maybe number three. I'm not sure. West Virginia Pappy, you are the. I'm calling you the turd today. Just cause. So, Light Raider, good morning. No, wrong. South Carolina. Dog and Ball Productions. I have not seen you since Christ was a corporal. Thank you for showing up. It is greatly appreciated. Cindy's here. Let's see who's actually normally one of the first people. I think Debbie is like the first. That's right. Debbie was like ice cold. Pamela Prepper, good morning. Our newest member, looky, there he is, the brand new green guy. Gentrification showed up. Pastor of Reality, Catitude, Rose. Oh, there's alrighty then. Canada. Rose, where are we at here? And Bob Heda. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop that chat out so it doesn't look like I'm looking to the side all the time. Did you know you can pop your YouTube chat out on PC? You can like pop it out and put it someplace where you want to see it. We're going to click right there. All right. So it looks like the 15th. Today is the 15th. 15th. The 15th. Ian just showed up. Good to go. Good to go. All right. And so while we are yapping around and hopefully this damn machine is still working. Oh, look. Oh, look what I have. Look what showed up in the mail, guys. Oh, if you remember, you know what I'm talking about. Been waiting for this puppy for a long time. This one I custom ordered. You could make them like this too, believe it or not. They have the logo on both sides. Ha ha. I did this just in case, like I accidentally picked it up, and then you guys would know that it was actually like my merch. Oh, it's the best. And yes, it is. It's about a third larger than the one that I had set up for merch on Teespring. It does exist now and it is available to purchase. I don't know that I tagged it in this video or not. I'm not sure. But it is what it is. Guys, do me a favor. Now is the time. Looks like El Croc just decided to be a subscriber. Appreciate you guys. Uh, Kim, no, she's a returning subscriber or what's the word I'm looking for here? Member. All right, so I've talked about nothing way too long, so we need to get into this, guys. We need to get into this. I've been kind of like people have a tendency to never learn from their mistakes, to never learn from history. You know, it's like those who don't study are destined to repeat the failures of our past. Some quote like that. It sounded pretty good the way I said it. But so I went back and I took a look at like some major things that happened in our world, not just the United States, and to see if we had to actually learn from it, and also to help us remind ourselves that there are some nefarious forces out there that are trying to control us, and that's not tinfoil hat stuff. They openly stand up and say we've penetrated most of every government there is with their ideas and their teachings. So it is a problem. And thank God here in America, we're trying to move away from that, watching the hearings yesterday with Pete Hegseth for Department of Defense. Guy knocked it out of the park. Not a joke. Didn't freak. Was completely calm, even though he had multiple chicken heads talking to him about females in the military. I mean, just the craziest stuff. You guys are gonna have to go back and watch it. Anyway, so staying on point, history often repeats itself, and today's global crises kind of bear striking similarities to events of the past, from economic collapse to environmental disasters. These historical occurrences often offer lessons of resilience, adaptability, and preparedness. Now, exploring these parallels provide valuable insights into how individuals and communities can navigate modern challenges effectively. And so, what I've done is I've kind of created a collection of historical events that mirror contemporary issues. If you don't know what those big words means, the things that are happening today. Each example highlights critical lessons and actionable recommendations for those looking to enhance their preparedness. Now, there's a whole list of these crazy ass things that happen. All right. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Pastor. Yes, a universal truth. Each successive generation of humanity continues to repeat the same mistakes of the past. Yes, because we're dumb. We're just dumb humans. We're the biggest ants running with the biggest brains running around doing the biggest dumb things there are. Cha-ching. Anyhow, that's right. I love this mug. I love this. This mug. I can get my whole hand in this thing. I love it. I love it. Um, So, and if you want to buy one, there might be a link someplace. I'm not sure if I actually put it in here. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's not why we're here today. Also, if you guys notice too, we do have there is a goal today of $5 super chats. We've met one of them so far. If the goal will end in 1 hour and 6 minutes. If we don't reach the goal, we don't extend the stream. If we do, we do. And I will keep doing things for you guys. Um, Product placement. I like to call it shameless promotion, shameless self promotion. But that, and then we've also got the poll. I think it was, I want to say it was Light Raider who need my poll, but I could be complying. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And in the poll, we've got the question is, which historical event offers the most valuable lessons for today's crisis? Crises. Well, I gave you four because I can only give you four. But we've got 71% believe the Great Depression, 18% believe the fall of Rome, 6% and 6% for the Black Death and the oil crisis of 1973. And that's going to change. Obviously, those numbers will change. There's no reason to. It's already got 17 votes in it with 20 concurrent viewers. There's no reason to rush right into this because it might change. And as I understand it, it won't let you change your answer. I don't know. Anyhow, we've got all that going on right there. So let's go ahead. Bradley. Oh my God. All right. Like, heart, reply. Thanks, bro. Let's get DANKS, bro. Thanks, bro. You are the man, Bradley. You are the man. We are close to extending this live stream by several percentage numbers. But let's go ahead and knock out the first one. For those of you that are not used to watching this, the way this works is I read some stuff, you write some stuff, I read about the stuff that you write, and now we're going to talk about some. This is that kind of come. I think I have like 10 with some bonus. So this is going to come in a blurb. It's going to come rapid fire. It's going to come rapid fire because we're already 13 minutes into the live stream, and I have not even talked about the very first one yet, and I apologize for that. So. First one is the Great Depression. The economic collapse of the 1930s left millions jobless, homeless, and struggling to survive. Now, banks failed, food became scarce, and frugal living became a necessity. Families relied on self-reliance, growing their own food, bartering, and adapting a cash-free lifestyle, or adapting to a cash-free lifestyle. The impact of the Great Depression highlighted the fragility of financial systems and the importance of community networks during times of hardship. Andy, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Stray Kitten says, "Is it true that men think about Rome several times a day?" I that I think about Rome several times a day, but I do have an affinity for Rome. I think that it was an idea that if just a whisper in the wind or something. That's like a scene from a movie I can't remember all of. Um, that was from Gladiator, actually. Rome is but an idea, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I've studied the Roman Empire. I've studied the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic was something real, but as usual, it had to become something else to turn to build what it was before its fall. They made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes. But anyway, so staying on point as usual, I'm going to give you some recommendations based off of the Great Depression. So those recommendations are actually pretty simple, and if you can think of some, please put them in the chat. Also, guys, if you have not hit that thumbs up button, now is the time to do that. That draws more people in, tells the algorithm that we're here to stay. So, first recommendation, skills development. You need to learn essential skills like gardening, home repair, and basic financial management. These abilities not only save money, but also enhance self-reliance. And everything, when we talk about, when I say recommendations, that's work. And that means you've got to put in the work. So let's, I probably need to turn this microphone like that. Just one of my windows just crashed. I don't know what that means. I'm going to go ahead and restart it and see what happens. Yeah, that was my actual streaming window. Am I still here, guys? Good morning, Mr. J. Good morning, the militarist. It looks like I may still be here, but do me a favor, just somebody, just you're here or something like that. It is what it is. I don't know why that window crashed. Slacker is present, going to hit that like button. Yes, yes. And when what is it? Hopefully, I haven't seen Bullseye yet. When he shows up, I've got to. I'm gonna make Bullseye a mod. I'm gonna do that because he asked to do that, and I know he's got his own channel, so he understands these rules pretty succinctly. What's up, Rose? Good to see you. Yo, Mr. J, you're here. Okay, so thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you, bro. So those recommendations are pretty simple. And then another thing we can do is we can diversify income. Relying on a single income stream is risky. Consider side hustles or part-time ventures that can supplement primary earnings. And while I don't like the idea, I do know that a dual income household, which basically means, the husband and the wife both work, boyfriend, girlfriend, they both work, whatever it may be, that's a game changer. It's a game changer. So some things to think about by diversifying your income. Also, have an emergency fund. Establish a fund with at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Prioritize necessities like rent, utilities, and food. I normally tell people to have 3 months. And the but I mean, you got to have goals. If you have 3 months salary saved, set off to the side and saved, and like in the don't touch me account, then you can pretty much, it takes about 3 months to find another job that's comparable to the one that you just got fired from or you left. It's just that easy. So that's the goal. And then community bartering. We need to build relationships in your local area to create a bartering network for goods and services during rough times. When you're friends with somebody, it's really hard for them to charge full price. That's why there's that thing called the friends and family discount that pretty much exists where there's friends and family. All right, I'm gonna go to the chat here real quick here. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says too many local governments starting to ban DIY repair and improvements. Yeah, they can try. They can try. But last time I checked, screwdrivers and hammers only have a one-time tax, and you can do whatever you want with them. Andy says, wouldn't hurt to learn distilling process, making shine is to barter or to drink or to clean wounds or to do. I mean, alcohol is alcohol, but yeah. Let's see here. Stray Kitten says, I don't understand rules. The militarist has got scrap metal on the brains, which makes sense. Pastor says, one of my friends is in the military, told me the same thing. He has a still. Yeah, just watch out for your local law, your state laws. And I will tell you that um, because people get their information from the internet, and sometimes it's not up to date. And some states, it's a felony even to possess still, even if it's like branded water distillation or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even if you bought it off Amazon and it's a water distiller, or that is your you've got a, you've got a certified, documented letter that says I only use this for water, um, in your state, they can still charge you with a felony, bring you before a court, and put you in jail for possession of the ability of the tools to distill alcohol. So just FYI, be aware. Disclaimer activated. Allegedly he has a still. Yes, allegedly. Let's see here. The militarist says the woman in my family do is not do business. Okay. Let's see here. My great aunt used to work for U.S. Steel. There you go. Yeah, my uncle Tony used to work for U.S. Steel in Denver, Colorado, and he used to tell me stories about how the machines that would cut the metal was they pretty much, if you got your hands in there, your hand was gone. You didn't even know it was gone. Let's see here. Bradley says distilling is for more than just alcohol. Distilled water is clean, very true, but it also lacks minerals that your body needs. So FYI. Let's see here. It can also double as a fuel. That's true. That's true. DIY issues. The Amish built small homes in Helene disaster area. Not allowed. I'm 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 not sure. I think that the people what's not allowed. It's all about it's not a crime unless somebody caught you, that kind of thing. If there's no victim, then it's a victimless crime, and if nobody caught you, then did it really happen? Let's see. Straight Getting says, but I don't understand all the government rules either. My family is from Pittsburgh, the militarist says. All right, so we're going to roll on to the Dust Bowl, which is our second thing. We're going to sip out of this new mug that I can't believe I didn't put like a link. I didn't put like a link to my store in the live stream. Is there a link to my store at I know like 90% of you are on your phones, but down in the bottom of some places, is there like a picture of this mug? I'm kind of curious to see if I remembered to do it or not. Okay, let's see here. So during the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, it caused severe drought and uh, unsustainable farming practices. It was devastating. It devastated the American Midwest. Crops failed, dust storms ravaged the land, and thousands were displaced. This ecological disaster underscores the need for sustainable agriculture practices and an understanding of how human activities impact the environment. If you don't know, we pretty much caused the Dust Bowl. Um, so some recommendations are, first one is going to be sustainable farming. You need to adopt practices or not you, but farmers, which they have done, adaptable practice or adapt practices like crop rotation. And there's things like no-till farming where they just push the crop under and it fertilizes the land. And then the planting cover crops to prevent soil erosion and maintain fertility. Basically, like I said, they just push the what's left over right under the ground. And then there's also some urban solutions, for those in the cities, container gardening, hydroponics. We talked about this a couple of times in the last week or so. And community garden can be effective ways to produce fresh food. We talked about there's some power companies that allow people to plant small gardens underneath the power lines. That way, it keeps things down, keeps the bushes down, and they don't have to mow as much, and it's like a land management thing. It's pretty awesome. And then there's water management. Collect rainwater, use drip irrigation, and learn to store water effectively to prepare for drought conditions because they happen all the damn time. I think it was Cindy that was who's one of our longtime members. It was sent me a thing yesterday about how North Carolina, I want to say like 6 or 8 of their counties have a fire warning. And I'm like, are you insane? It's like half the state is covered with snow right now. How is this even possible? But no, it's on like 3 different channels. And then I had to go check with one of my close friends who is actually works for a fire department. And it's like, have you heard anything about this? And he kind of laid it out. Yeah, man, you got all these trees and stuff that got knocked down, especially because of Hurricane Helene and down in western North Carolina. where basically you've got all this wood that's drying out right now, and it's just there's the opportunity for a fire. So everybody put their tinfoil hats on and started, looking for the blue lasers coming from the sky, that kind of stuff, But it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So. I'm going to check the chat here real quick. Looks like you guys were talking about some stuff. Cuck V, shut up. What's going on? The military says my great uncle is an iron worker. He also used to work for Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. Nice. Oops says hey, Oops, good to see you, bro. My great uncle is where are we at here? The Amish tiny houses were not to code as it was said because of square foot requirements to be a dwelling. Yeah, North Carolina, it's got some. North Carolina allows tiny homes, but they are very picky about entrances, exits, square footage, and the amount of windows. There has to be a certain amount of windows or size windows per dwelling. I mean, obviously the other code stuffs are involved, but those are the big ones for tiny houses. Let's see here. Amish group went in and built shed shelters home, but a housing inspector did not approve the residency. Uh, you know, I wonder if that area is in a emergency zone. I don't know what kind of leg he would have to stand on it, but I don't know the particulars. Let's see here. My brother's raising chickens. Nice. I love chickens. They're so delicious. Laszlo, good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Huck says our remodel was $22,000 over what the estimate. Thank God for our emergency fund. Mechanical HVAC was never included in our assessment, and flooring installation cost. Also, wood stove installation. It sounds to me like you put some money into that house. I like it. I like it. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna go on and we're gonna move on here. We're gonna check the chat, or not the chat, but we're gonna check the where are we at here? Boop, 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 the poll. And right now we got 24 votes, 24 people in here. I don't think I can complain about that. Which historical event offers the most valuable lessons for today's crisis? 67% say the Depression, 25% say the fall of Rome, and 4% say the Black Death and oil crisis of 1973. We also have a goal today of 5 super chats. We're currently sitting at 2. And if you can help out with that, that goes directly to the new computer, which I've already started to eyeball. And what I'm hoping is that I find the one I really want, and then I just wait for the price to go down. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. And so if you guys contribute it, that would be great. If you cannot, it's completely understandable. And nobody answered me. Nobody answered me. Is this mug? Do you guys see a link or a picture for this mug on your phone? I'm kind of curious because on my side, the PC side, I can't see it because of the software that I have to use to run the live stream. In fact, it's getting even. I have like window stacked on top of window stacked on top of window, so I do not know. Um, see, that's not even right. What do we got here? There we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, which was the Spanish flu of 1918. So, this I can't even say it. I have to say it. Pandemic infected a third of the world's population and claimed millions of lives. The rapid spread highlighted the importance of hygiene, quarantine, and community health measures. It also exposed weaknesses in global health systems and emphasized the need for personal and collective responsibility during outbreaks. You know, um, some recommendations. I see you laughing at me, stray kitten. I'm waiting for the prices to go down so I can eat. That's a completely different problem, lady. Get your get your perspectives right. Okay, so we're talking about the Spanish flu. Now, some recommendations that are focused to us. You would think we would be all masters of the pandemic so far, but some people are getting slack. I'm starting to see masks, and I'm starting to see a lot of things coming back to the shelves that weren't there, for the last year. So, medical supplies, stock up, such as masks, gloves, disinfectants, and over-the-counter medications. Now, here's the thing: I don't like the mask idea. I really don't. But the reality is that if the techno overlords decide they want to do something, they know now that it has to be more lethal. It can't last as long, but it's got to be more lethal so that people will be scared. If you're one of those people that are talking about a population reduction plan, then yeah, yeah. Stray Kitten, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing. Oh no, I didn't take it that way at all, Stray Kitten. I thought what you said was very funny. I have leather skin. Also, if you know about the rhino speech, I have rhino skin. All right, so make sure that you do have some kind of medical supplies for this. Also, I will tell you right now that this is a great opportunity to talk about, since we're in the middle right here. Um, Jace Medical, guys. Jace Medical. We're going to pay some bills here real quick. The reality is that we're currently talking about another pandemic. Is it possible? I don't know. Is something going to go wrong in the world? We don't know. But if it does, one of the first things that goes down is our logistical supply system, because we all know that how fragile that is based off of everything from the pandemic to what is it? Supply chain disruptions, weather events that keep things from moving. This thing should have gotten to me in 7 days. It took 18 days to get to me because it got lost in the blizzard mail. Okay. So we all know that these are things that are very real. So it's a very good idea to have a stockpile of medical supplies. Now, whether it is just the standard Jace case that has more than enough antibiotics to take care of you and your family with one particular case, or if you are needing a daily supply of life continuing medications, they have a stockpile. They have a massive list of medication that you can buy. And now, believe it or not, all of Jason's the only one that hasn't really gone crazy yet, but all of the others, they're all talking about pandemic type stuff. So, guys, you might want to take a look at jacemedical.com or Jace Daily. Use the code LOCALPREPPER10 to save 10% because that stuff is not cheap. Okay, so now that we're back on this, looks like the mic was. I hope the mic was working while I was doing the J stuff. See no link for your merch. I've got you, bro. I've got you. I guess you know what? While I'm doing that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and dismiss that. I do not like doing mid-roll stuff. YouTube, thank you very much. You guys are very welcome. While I'm looking for that link, guys, do me a favor. If you love your country but not your government, put a number one in the chat, America. And I'm going to drink some coffee out of my new mug, which I really like. And by the way, guys, this coffee was poured in here at 8:57. The mug is still hot. The coffee is too, which is kind of amazing because it's not covered. All right, I need to find where is that? Where is that stuff? I need to find let's see here. YouTube. Let's see here. And Trump cabinet confirmation, Marco Rubio, Pam Bondi. They got a whole bunch of hearings going on today that they start at like 9:30 in the morning. So it'll be interesting to see what that. Also, Starship guys, Starship tonight. I see merch link, Light Raider. Yeah, I think it has to do with the platform that you're on. Like I said, I don't remember tagging it. But I'm gonna go and find this thing right here. YouTube. Uh, your channel. I hate having to do this kind of stuff. It's just kind of store. They call it my store. And where are we at here? I'm just gonna give you guys the link to the store. There you go. That's the link to the store right there. If you guys are interested, there's all sorts of different mugs. Right now, it's just mugs, like drinking items and a t-shirt, which is freaking awesome. I love their t-shirts, and their t-shirts are to size, which is freaking awesome. And a hoodie. So, all right, now that I've done that, let's see here. Light Raider, thank you very much. We're gonna go and like and heart and reply, and I'm gonna say you are the man. There we go. And exclamation point. Cha-cha. There we go. There we go. Get ready, folks. Hold the line. What's up, Dave? Dave, I don't. Dave, that's an awesome last name. I don't recognize you. Welcome to the stream. And if you have been a subscribed lurker, I appreciate you. Make sure you guys are all still subscribed. All right, so let me get back to that other piece of software that tells me things. There we go. All right, so some of the other recommendations based off of the Spanish pandemic or flu, home health, learn basic first aid and how to care for sick family members at home. Also, community health plans. You need to advocate for and participate in local health initiatives to strengthen your area's emergency response capabilities and resilience. Stay informed about emergency disease and invest in vitamins and supplements to boost immunity. Guys, I've been taking this older product. I bought it a long time ago. I never really got to. It's called Alpha Test. It's supposed to increase natural testosterone in males. And I can't say that it's so weird because I do that, and I'm also taking the brain pill. What is it? Alpha? No, Mega Brain, Alpha Brain. Yeah, Alpha Brain. I've also taken the Alpha Brain, and what I've noticed is that during the day I just get stuff done. It's like, oh, I just had a really good day. I don't feel like super, like giant brain powered or anything like that. I just feel like, yeah, what is going on? Why? Oh, I hate this chat. Okay, so something to think about, and also resilience, guys. Stay informed about emergency diseases and invest in vitamins and supplements to boost immunity. I literally just, I guess my brain pill's not working. I literally just washed, rinse, repeat that one, didn't I? All right, so let's see here. I don't see anything in the chat, and that's okay, since you guys just did the whole ones thing, which I appreciate. The fall of Rome. I need to be over on this page because I can see things. It says my chat rate is 0. That's because no one's chatting. That's okay. All right, so the fall of Rome. The collapse of the Roman Empire demonstrates how powerful civilizations can even how powerful civilizations can be succumbed to internal corruption, economic instability, and internal pressures, resulting in societal breakdown and underscores the need for adaptability and strong community bonds. It also shows how critical knowledge, preservation, and self-reliance are uh, necessary during periods of instability. And Catitude, I see what you did there, girl. I greatly appreciate it. What, now I gotta put now I have to play. You are the whoa man. Boom. Nice. We're so close. We're almost we're only at 37 minutes into the live stream, and we are only one click away from extending the live stream. What I'll talk about, I don't know, but I will find something. I'll earn my money. That is for sure. You guys should know that. 29 people in here, and we've got 29 votes. So right now, Great Depression is still holding at 62%, with which historical event offers the most valuable lessons for today's crises. And the thing about the fall of Rome is that we this is a big one that we should all learn from. Like I said, I spent a lot of time studying Rome. I was always enthralled about the Roman army and how they were just this juggernaut of a force. It was part of my military studies while I was in the military, and then I started to like learn more about how, uh, you know, a Roman citizen, because being a Roman citizen was a huge thing back then, um, but we've kind of like forgotten about some of the dumb stuff, like who is Romulus? You guys should really look up who Romulus was and what happened to his brother. All right, so some of the recommendations based off of lessons learned from the Romans were community networks, build and strengthen local support groups. These networks can provide mutual aid during times of crisis. The Romans became individualists. They became people who chased money and glory and money and women and money, but also you need to learn some skills for survival, like how to invest in learning practical skills like, sewing, carpentry, and tool repair to maintain independence, because the Romans were very big on, hey, let's get a big house, let's get lots of little robes, let's have lots of orgies, let's show people how cool we are. Being a Roman was all about being part of the cool kids club, and they knew how to do nothing. And so, but they had all these people who were their slaves that knew how to do stuff. And so when the Roman Empire fell, there were a lot of Roman citizens who knew how to do nothing. And the people who actually survived were the people who had skills. So, knowledge preservation, keep physical copies of essential books on survival, farming, and basic engineering in a digital blackout. These resources could become invaluable. Um, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that there was so much knowledge lost during the period of the Roman Republic moving into the Roman Empire. That it was absolutely crazy that's like there's no written evidence of any of these things happening, and also self-governance. We need to engage with local governance initiatives to foster a sense of community resilience and shared responsibility. You know, it's being community-based government governance is very important, and here's why. Because I personally know of somebody who ran to be part. I think it was like a city councilman, right? And I was we were having like a family get together, and people were like, "Hey, so do you know why so and so wasn't elected?" And everybody was like, "Because he's a dick." Because he's a narcissist. And it's like the community knows the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's not personal because I'm sure his intentions were true, but or maybe he just got bored in his old age. I don't know, but it is what it is. So knowing your self-governance is all about knowing your community. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check the chat because I see that David donated $5. And it really pisses me off, David. You've really pissed me off. Through no fault of your own, in an attempt to reach the top chat. Why am I in top chat? Why is top chat even a thing? Live chat. To reach the goal that I have set for this live stream, he threw $5, and I cannot even say thank you to him via the system because I think it was just you just like donated instead of. I'm not even sure where this money came from. To be honest with you, David. I don't know if this was. What do these buttons do? What's this? Change, go to, remove. No, that's not you. Um, but I want to tell you that I appreciate you. Like I said, I don't recognize you, bro. But yeah, yeah, you should become a member. Not a joke. I mean, if you're willing to throw $5 at somebody you don't even know because you like what I'm talking about, this will be part of the plan, man. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Enjoy your coffee, brother. I appreciate you, man. To you. Ian says, "Oops, ruling family from Germany. Gotcha." Cuckfi says, "Rome devalued its currency big time before the fall. It had to. It had to." Um, let's see. And I'm surprised it didn't like completely like. It's like when you ask people like, "Where did the Roman Empire go?" They were like, "Oh," and they give you like 7,000 different things. But the bottom line, the Romans just got too big for their own britches. They could not exercise global control. They didn't have the command and control systems that our government has to do it globally. They just got too big for the day. You know what I'm saying? They actually split into an East and West empire. And then they decided they wanted to go to war with each other. There was actually revolutions. Um, but it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how they got so huge and so powerful, and they just kind of just fluttered away. So let's see here. Rome, where we at? We got you there. Let's see here. Rose says, we are more affected or should learn most from the Great Depression that also led to the Great Dust Bowl out on the plains. Very true. Oops says, Ian, yes, and killed their Brit cousins and took over England as we know it. Then she is Red Shield Rothschild. I got you. We're going down that rabbit hole, are we? Oops. All capitals. Yeah, the Rothschilds are it's hilarious. But did you know there's like a Rothschild estate here in the United States that's completely abandoned? Um, let's see here. Stray Kitten retracted. David said, okay. Love you, man. Not a joke. Love you. Pastor of Reality says we were doing the same thing with the dollar that Rome did with their currency. Yeah, well, I was going to talk about it briefly, but because unfortunately, it takes us off track, and we're not even halfway through this. But I think we're going to meet our goal anyway. And where did the money come from? It was poofied. It was made. It was stolen. All money is stolen. All money is done by off the backs of somebody else. You know, which made me think of something else that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to. If you guys remind me towards the end of this, and when we go extended, that I talk about it, that what I want to talk about that I can't because I need to stay on point, then I'll be happy to talk about it. I just giant circle I just walked in, um, leading me to not even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. But no, the process is normally inflation, deflation, the de or and inflation, deflation, and hyperinflation. Now, hyperinflation is caused by the devaluation of currency. Those are the three steps. Right now, Germany is in the process of devaluation of their currency, which is not good. No bueno. That country seems to have a track record of these problems. So it is what it is. It's just caused by something else this time. All right, number five. Number five. The Black Death. Boom, boom, boom. The plague that devastated Europe in the 14th century. It exposed the dangers of poor sanitation and the critical role of quarantine. The aftermath reshaped economies and societies, proving how crisis can catalyze transformation. Uh, you know, the event also highlighted the importance of adaptability and the resilience required to rebuild. Basically, you screwed up. Let's fix this. It's going to be all right. So, and the recommendations that we can learn from this situation is that a sanitation focus. Maintain a clean environment, home, including proper waste disposal and pest control. Guys, Mom was right. Wash your hands before supper. It's that easy. Is that easy? Is that easy, guys? Quarantine plans. Develop a strategy for isolating sick individuals within your household to prevent the spread of illness. Oh, by the way, AKA, if you don't feel good, don't come to work. We don't want your bug. These are very simple things that we kind of forgot. It's like people that were just running around with El Crapo fingers and you know, well, I've got to work or I don't get paid or I don't eat. That's been caused by the workforce itself. The work overlords caused this problem. That kind of thing. That's why bugs are running around now. And then obviously mental resilience, recognizing the psychological toll of prolonged crisis. Invest in activities that reduce stress, such as meditation, exercise, and creative hobbies. You hear about these people that went nuts. We have guys. I hate to say this, but we have an entire generation of of uh, burgeoning adults that are, or should I say, pre-adults that are now adults, that may be adults. Anyway, that little window, that little 2-year window where people were going from teenage to adulthood that have psychological and mental disorders that were caused by the lack of socializing. I almost said socialism. And they don't know what to do. And then they're trapped in this little thing right here. I've seen one every single day. And it's like we can't allow that to ever happen again. We can't allow that to ever happen again. So it breaks down mental resilience, and we have to make our children strong. Let's see here. Cuck says, "Yeah, my window just crashed again. Isn't that special?" The actual window that I'm using on YouTube to live stream this keeps crashing. Guys, give me a 5x5. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'm just going to keep talking like nothing frickin' happened, right? All right. So Pastor Rios, I agree 100%. Keep cats, snakes, owls, hawks. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Bradley says, I'm going to say, how do I stay home without pay? It's 3 days and it cost me much more than just the time missed. Very true. Very true. Scorpion Metals, good to see you, bro. West Virginia Pappy says, young people who don't know how to adult. Exactly. It's called arrested development, and that's not just a comedy show to watch. Cuck says, or Cuck V Farmer. I just call you Cuck, bro. Don't be a cuck. Be a cuck. I work on a farm feeding cows, and I don't wash my hands before eating. That keeps my immune system strong. To an extent, bro. To an extent. Looks like I am still 100% 5 by 5 and fully operational. All right, so we're going to move on to number six, the Little Ice Age. A lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people don't know about this. So, this period of cooling from the 14th to the 19th centuries caused crop failures, famine, and unrest. The event demonstrated the far-reaching effects of weather and climate on food production and society. It underscores the importance of preparing for unexpected environmental changes, and ensuring food security. What can we know? What can we learn or make recommendations on for this little known event? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We need to think about diverse food sources. Now, what does that mean? It means to grow a mix of crops suited for different climates and conditions. Also, food preservation, learning techniques such as canning, fermenting, and freeze drying to store surplus harvests. Also, that's one thing that we don't do a lot of. You guys ever notice that? We don't do a lot of that. I mean, preppers do, but Americans in general just don't really do that. They don't really store extra from the harvest. It all goes someplace. And it's like I've seen harvests that were like the stuff is sold, but then it doesn't get sold to other product makers to get it onto the tables. And then it just goes bad in a field someplace piled up. I've seen that. Um, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And the next thing is energy efficiency. We should learn to use efficient heating and cooking methods to conserve resources during harsh winters. Because it's like if you can't start a fire, if you know what I'm saying, if you don't have enough wood, if the trees you know what I'm saying, there's some apocalyptic thoughts there, but you should still be conserving heating and cooling methods, their resources. So let's see here. Community food programs. You need to advocate for shared food storage facilities to benefit entire neighborhoods. Guys, there's a town that's near me that actually has uh, they're like drop boxes. They're actually on a two, or they're on a 4x4, so they stay off the ground because of the winter. And they're like little medicine cabinets, large medicine cabinets. You can like walk up to it and unhook it and like over it, and it's got a glass front on it, and people will just put food in there, and and books and things like that, and anybody who needs that stuff can just come by and get it. There's at least three of them that I know of them. They're right on Main Street. They're pretty interesting. I think that that's great. And then, as far as like the big food programs, unfortunately, those locals only don't really have like the ability to contribute to that because they get most of those foods from all of the big blues. That those are corporations, blue coin corporations or blue chip corporations that are like they are not allowed to sell it past its expiration date or something like that. But then they'll donate it, and then they can write off the value for their taxes, and then that's how they get their food. But I think the community food programs are a good idea. So, um, looking at the chat here, those creatures, oops, listed eat rats. I don't know. I've eaten rats. It's part of the survival regime, but it's only if you can catch one. And let's see here. Volcanoes caused the mini ice age. That is part of a different one, but it's actually on my list. It's actually on my list. So, but that's a good factoid. Scorpion Metal says you are correct. No one really cans extra at home anymore. Exactly, exactly. And let's see here. Pastor says the end results of the little ice age resulted in the both the French and American Revolutions. Oh yeah, war is great for an economy. That's you know it's like the big picture people, the people that want to run our planet don't want to be like the official people in charge of it. They just want to be like the shadow governments. It's like you guys don't understand. We need war. War funds the world. War fuels the world. And it's like, okay, that's great, but lots of people die. Well, I hate to say this, guys, and we probably need to have a live stream on it. Do me a favor. Put a one in the chat if you think that I need to have a live stream about or video about the necessity for death in the world because it's something nobody talks about. Let's see here. Let's see here. And result, we can about 2 years worth every. Oh, you can about 2 years worth every year. I got you. Oops. Gotta run. Bob, talk to you later, bro. Be safe. Be safe, bro. Be safe. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Great Irish Potato Famine, which was a real thing and could have been. Um, it could have been like not happened. The reliance. This was caused by the reliance on a single crop, and it led to mass starvation uh, and uh, actually in immigration during the Polish, or I'm sorry, not the Polish, the Irish potato famine. This crisis emphasized the danger of food source dependency and the importance of agricultural diversity. Now, what can we learn from it? Um, some recommendations, crop rotation. You need to avoid what they call monoculture farming by planting multiple types of crops. Uh, you know, um, we need to talk about emergency food storage, which as preppers, that's our bread and butter right there. You need to build a reserve of staple foods such as grains, beans, freeze-dried items that last several months. We need to save seeds, seed saving. You need to learn to collect and store seeds from your harvest to ensure future planting. One of the things that I get on people about is, guys, we go to Wally World all the time and buy fresh fruits and vegetables, and no one saves the seeds. No one like knows the process for soaking the seeds, getting the capsules off the seeds, the gelatinous capsules off the seeds, and drying the seeds out for like 6 weeks, and then finally storing the seeds. Nobody does it, and it's so easy to do. I don't know why people buy seeds. They should just buy the food during the winter that they're just start the cycle by buying the vegetables and fruit during the winter that they're going to eat, getting the seeds, and it doesn't take a lot. You can buy so if you bought like my thing is cucumbers. If you bought like 3 cucumbers, okay, and you ate two of them, but you used one only for the seeds, guys, you would have so many cucumber seeds, it would blow your mind out of a single cucumber. That's why I don't understand why we have food shortages. It's just mind blowing. All right, and then obviously, or not obviously, but and then lastly on this section is aquaponics. Consider this self-sustaining system that combines fresh farming with vegetable cultivation. And then let's go ahead and move on to, we're rolling up there. We need to slow our roll maybe just a little bit and look at the chat. Looks like you guys want me to talk about death. Okay. Or should I say the need for death? That's going to be a dark one. That is going to be a hard one to do because I don't know that the YouTube algorithms will like that much. I may have to do that as a live stream and like promote the hell out of it. Let's see here. Rose says the later eruption around 1850 affected us as well. 1860 records snowfalls in June and limited crops planted in Indiana and other states. Very true. Rose, you and Cindy are like a wealth of knowledge. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Limited tillage prevents loss of topsoil, habitat, and food for animals. Let's see. Too many seeds to grow. Yeah, but those seeds will last like 5 years. Not a joke. Not a joke, man. All right, let's see here. Bradley says aquaponics is great, but it's a thinking man's game over being strong. Over being strong. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly what you mean, but I'm going to agree with you, Bradley, because I know that you do aquaponics. All right, so the next thing, I need a sip of coffee here. The next thing we're going to talk about is something nobody thinks about. It's like history, history, history. The Siege of Leningrad. Guys, during World War II, the residents of Leningrad endured extreme food shortages for nearly 900 days. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's over 2 years if you didn't know that. It's almost 3 years. Their survival depended on rationing and finding alternative food sources. This siege demonstrated the critical importance of long term planning and community resilience. Basically, the Germans circled Leningrad and they said, no, we're staying. And they did, and they won too. So, some of the recommendations that we can learn from those that particular thing is that having calorie dense foods. You need to stockpile items like nuts, dried fruits, and peanut butter, which provide high energy in small quantities. Guys, I've got to tell you, we don't think about it very often, but peanut butter is like, we know that um, honey basically lasts forever. We know that. Okay. But unsealed peanut butter is not far behind. I've opened unsealed peanut butter that's like 2 years old, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. I've opened unsealed peanut butter that's 5 years old, and you basically have to cut the top of it off because it's hardening, because all the oils that would normally go to the top are now making their way to the bottom, and that peanut butter down there is still good. Let's see here. Foraging skills. Learn to identify and prepare wild edibles. One of my biggest things that I want to do, and one of my biggest shortfalls, is that I do not know what I can eat in my local area because all I do is make YouTube videos for you guys. I never get a chance to go out there, you selfish bastards. Food rotation. I regularly check and replace stored food to ensure freshness. Guys, we know this. Take it from the front, stock it to the back. Buy those little spinny things. I need to buy some. I want to buy those and put those on my rack back there, so that they're like, you know what I'm saying? Um, Community sharing. Also, I think I can get more cans on that shelf too. That shelf's rated for that shelf back there is rated for 300 pounds. So I think I can get 300 pounds worth of stuff on there. And then obviously community sharing, form coalitions to share resources and support one another in times of scarcity. We had talked about that before with the food drops. Going to the chat, you guys have posted some stuff in there. Where we at here? Oops says we have pea, corn, cucumbers, tomato, and bean seeds. The family has grown and saved for over 50 years. Wow, that's pretty awesome, dude. Um, Rose Bradley says the White River the White River flowed backwards for 10 seconds during the earthquake, causing massive floods here in central Indiana. Wow, that's interesting. It takes a strong back to till the ground and work the soil. That's what our kids are for. That's what summer vacations are for. That's what they originally were for, guys. Pastor of reality, the siege of Leningrad is a good example of the downside living in a large city that has to import all its resources. Very true. Um, but let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says try alternatives to your normal food choices. There you go. You never know. You don't know what you don't know. Rose says they make a mixer blade for peanut butter jars. Interesting. Um, let's see here. Bradley says, is the unsealed peanut butter just peanut butter or is it chemical versions like Jiffy? I am not sure. I'm not sure, but I think that when you say chemical version, listen, man, there's peanuts in there. All they do is add chemicals to make it more shelf stable. And in a survival situation where you're just trying to get by, I think that, yeah, it's probably a good idea to have it, regardless of how many chemicals are in it, because it hasn't killed a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. I would rather live through the you know the siege of Leningrad and die of cancer in 20 years than die at the siege of Leningrad. uh FIFO, first in, first out. There you go. Tuck V says, I love cashews. I love Jif peanut butter, but can't eat it because I will gain weight and I do get gas from peanut butter. I know, right? David says, let's talk about this fog being made by the night drones in the big cities. That's some tinfoil hat stuff right there. But here's the thing. Um, there's no proof that the drones are doing it. But we are seeing this fog that is lasting in particular places, and there are people that are getting sick from it, and nobody knows what it is. And I'm hoping that Captain Red Tie can, one, put a stop to it, and two, tell us what the hell is going on, because right now there's really not much we can do about it. So going to the chat, I'm sorry, going to the poll, we're currently at 67% Great Depression, 22% the fall of Rome, 3% the Black Death, 8% the oil crisis of 1973, which we haven't even covered yet. And let's see here. We also are still at 4 of 5, and we have 13 minutes left to meet our goal. So I'm going to go over by 13 minutes. See if we can make that go. That's right. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna make you work for it. So number 9, the Cuban Missile Crisis. This tense standoff between the U.S. and the Soviet Union nearly escalated into nuclear war. It demonstrated how quickly geopolitical tensions can spiral out of control and underscore the importance of being prepared for sudden disasters. This all sounds very familiar for some reason. Some recommendations: go bags. Assemble emergency kits with water, food, and clothing security, and essential documents for quick evacuation. Also, safe locations. Identify and plan for reaching safe areas in case of conflict. Know your plan, know your route, know your backups. Get there, know what's there, and survive. Emergency communication. Invest in a hand crank radio or satellite phone to stay informed during outages. I personally use the Garmin satellite uh, communicator. I believe it's the Explorer Plus 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 Plus, something like that, because I like having a GPS. I'm old school. I like to have. Like, I want to feel it. I want this little thing that requires the use of my cell phone. Let's see here. Let's see. Bradley says Bradley's laughing at it. The big city, and they want to make LA a minute city, so they burn it down as planned to make government pay for it and rebuild it for the 2028 Olympics. Coincidence, maybe? I hate to tell you this, but the Olympics may not go there. There may not be time to do that. The Olympic Committee may be going, "What the hell is going on here?" Bradley says, if it works 60% of the time, it works every time. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies ever, Bradley. Where are we at here? Oops says LP David Workman was number 5, but didn't get registered on the goal target. I know. I told you I'm being selfish. I'm holding your feet to the fire. But by the way, if you look at the clock, we're 6 minutes over, so I'm still holding true. I'm being loyal. My word. Duck V says, I had heard we got rid of a China satellite, and that's why drones aren't in being talked about now. I don't know about that. There's getting rid of a satellite is not as easy as most would think. The debris field is massive because basically you have LOE and OE, which are low Earth orbit and just regular standard orbit. Um, and just stuff floating up there nobody wants, because if you when you blow a satellite out of the sky, when you destroy it in space, the debris field can be like half the circumference of the Earth, just floating out there and moving. And if you have other satellites up there that you want to use, that you maybe China put up there themselves, then it's a danger to them. It's a danger to their satellite constellation. So we'll see what happened. Let's see here. Let's see. Oops says check out 100 resilient cities plan. That's interesting. We're gonna highlight. Can't do that. I'm gonna open a window for myself later. I'm gonna be selfish, and let's see what comes up here. 100 resilient. It's part of the Rockefeller Foundation. I don't know if I want to do that. Build resilient physical, social, and economic. I mean, it's a great idea. I'm going to look at it, bro. I'm going to look at it. Oops. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. In fact, I'm going to. That's a brave search. There you go. Rockefeller Foundation, 100 resilient cities, and I'm going to put that so you guys don't have to search for it. Let me put that in the chat, and you can look at that in your spare time. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is and this is number 10. The oil crisis of 1973. Um, the oil embargo revealed that vulnerabilities of societies heavily reliant on a single energy source, uh, fuel shortages, and economic instability followed, showing the importance of energy diversification. Um, Basically, that we had a problem with the Saudis and or the Middle East that was producing oil, and yeah, we're talking about lines at the gas station that will make the COVID issue look like a walk in the park. Not a joke. I was actually alive then, but I wasn't very old, but I do remember some of those things. Let's see here. Some of the recommendations are renewable energy. We need to incorporate solar panels, wind turbines, and other sustainable energy sources into our homes. Conservation, we need to use energy efficient appliances and adopt habits like carpooling or biking to reduce fuel dependency. Also, fuel storage, safely store small quantities of gasoline or propane for emergencies. For emergencies. Rolling over to the chat, Bradley says permaculture is a great way to keep your property resilient to many problems and can allow you to build a food forest. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. I hate live. I can't say that I hate living. There are benefits to living in an inside of a town, where like in basically a city. But they're all things like, oh, I can go to I can walk to the bar, or I can get food from the corner. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. The community system is more robust in small towns, but there's a lot to be said for being out on the property and doing the things that you want to do. Rose says, shared the peanut butter mixer on the Discord. Nice. Nice. If you guys aren't a member of the Discord, that's because you're not a member of the YouTube family. You got to be more than a subscriber. And if you want access to that, you got to be at least a doomsday prepper, which is the second level, which is the best level. And in my personal opinion, not just for me, but for you, because you get access to everything. Let's see. Pastor says the big factor in the 73 oil crisis was due to Nixon's taking the dollar off the gold standard and linking the dollar to oil. Yeah, there was creating the petrodollar. That's the correct answer. So I would say that you're 100% right, but yeah, there's always mitigating circumstances. There's a lot of talk about um, other factors that were involved in that as well, other than just pissing off the Saudis or creating the petrodollar, things like that. Let's see here. Bradley says YouTube food forest permaculture with Howie. There you go. There you go. Let's see here. You know what? Can I? I bet I can. I'm gonna get like I've extended the live stream as requested, so I'm gonna go ahead and find that link for you guys. Great outdoors permaculture with Howie. Cannabis comes up. What's going on here? Permaculture with Howie. Howie, the food forest permaculture. All right, now I gotta look for that one. Cincinnati permaculture. Meet Howie, the Victorian British Columbia. All right, so I guess he was live when he did this. That's all right. I just want your website. Hair Echo Life. I don't know if that's right or I'm just giving you this one because I don't know if this is right, but you're got here. I'm just shoving this down your throat. There you go. Go find that later on. Go find that later on. All right, so now we're in the bonus stuff. I got a couple of bonuses for you guys, and this one's kind of interesting. So they call it the year without a summer. A volcanic eruption, somebody alluded to this earlier, in 1815 filtered the sun, caused some global cooling. This led to crop failures and food shortages. This event highlighted how natural disasters can disrupt global food systems. Now, some of the recommendations that we can from things we can learn from this event are greenhouses. Invest in controlled environments for growing food year round. Also, um, growing lamps. A lot of people don't know that you can buy these fancy little multi-spectrum growing lamps off of Amazon. Not a joke, not self-promotion, but I know this because I own one. I use it for a lot of different things, but um, it actually works. So, You might want to look at that if you're growing stuff inside your house or inside of a small greenhouse. Also, seed banks. We've talked about this before. Build a personal collection of heirloom seeds to ensure access to diverse crops. Um, are heirloom seeds used to create most of the stuff that's coming out of Wally World? No, they are not. But once you get one generation away from that particular product, which means basically growing stuff from their seeds, they now become heirloom seeds, and you can just continue to grow your own strain. Alternative foods, explore resilient crops like Amarnath. Uh, I always screw this up. Quinoa. I got it right. Somebody taught me that one. Quinoa and sweet potatoes that thrive in adverse conditions. So these are crops or plants that like to grow in tough places. And then there's also the Carrington event, guys. We're going to cover that very briefly. The solar storm of 1859 disrupted global telegraph systems. A similar event today could cripple modern electronic or electrical grids and communications networks. Now, what do we learn from this? What should we have learned from this? Some recommendations is EMP protection. Use Faraday cages to protect electronics from solar flares or EMP attacks. Also, guys, I'm not gonna throw it up there, but unless you want the code, is the EMP shield. You know what? Here, I'm just going to do it. It's just a button. The EMP shield, guys. This is not a cheap device, but my plan is to get in my car and drive. It's that easy. If I need to use my vehicle, I will. And I'll bring it back and park it right where I normally park it, so it looks like it never moved. And then I'll use it in an emergency, or I'll escape with it, or something like that. Obviously, they're not cheap, so use the code and save yourself $50. Not a joke. Getting back on point, manual tools. Keep non-electric alternatives for critical tasks such as hand crank appliances and manual pumps. Guys, I actually have my blender is like one of those. I have one of those as well. Why? Because, well, I like to cook and some things need to be blended and I don't want to be going forever. Off-grid living, and this is going to be like this is this they say the goal of every prepper is to become a homesteader, but the reality is it's very difficult because not every piece of land is perfect, and some people just don't have the the uh the the testicular fortitude to do it. They just think about it and really like it. But off-grid living, practice living without power for short periods to test your preparedness because you never know when you're going to run out of go-go juice that goes through the electrons. You're never going to run out of the electrons. And, if Captain Blue Tie has his way before he leaves, by the way, he just signed another executive order that goes against alternative power sources. Like he doesn't like natural gas. I think at his age, he has too much gas. But anyway, let's see here. And to close this up into a nice little bag, the stream is not ending. I'm just going to close this up and then we'll go to the chat. But history offers countless lessons for navigating today's uncertainties, from food security, energy independence, and community resilience and emergency preparedness. These historical parallels underscore the importance of self-reliance and adaptability. By learning from the past, which is how we started this whole thing, individuals can better prepare for whatever challenges the futures hold or the future holds. The future holds. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll to the chat there. Officially, 3, 2, 1. We didn't officially make the goal of 4 out of 5 because the numbers didn't change, but David hooked us up and we got that last 5 one, so that's why we're going to maintain the live stream. Let's see. Also going to the poll, we got 41 votes. How many people are in here right now? Let's see here. 33. So that's not bad. People came and went. 66% say the Great Depression holds the most valuable lessons for today's crisis. So if you want, you can go ahead and finish your vote here before we close that up, and then I'm going to go to the chat. You know what? I'm going to push the chat button and see if this thing's been populated or not. Let's see, did that work? Did that work? Yep, it hasn't been. So whatever you type now will be brand new in the chat. So I'm gonna go here. Rose says, with permaculture, there are chances for guerrilla gardening and your community planting is in less mowed areas. Check for community colleges for planting in there. Yes, exactly. Guys, if you didn't know this, you can contact your community college, and a lot of them have their own like garden areas, and they so that they can use to like they can teach permaculture. Is this chat even working, guys? I'm confused as to what's happening here. Do me a favor, guys. Let's go ahead and fire up the algorithm real quick here. Do me a favor, put a number one in the chat if you like preparedness. And let's see here. I can't even do the America thing. Goodness. I feel like I should be doing like a something. But it looks like the chat is dying. I don't. There it is. It just came on. There we go. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you. All right. So let's see here. Rose says, have lawn crew deliver chipped tree trimmings to your home. That's a thing. Sun chokes grow great. Whoop, there we go. I got to scroll down here. Sun chokes grow great in America. I don't know what a sun choke is. And they're basically another potato, okay, and sunflower plants at the same time. I like it. Let's see here. Oops says it's just food. You know what? Let's move. I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to minimize that and move that chat over here so I can like, there we go. Um, it's just food, forest, permaculture as title. Another gray-haired, bearded guy. I got you. Rose says most tree services companies are always looking to offer loads of wood and chips. I got you. We call it an egg beater when I was growing up. Yep, that's true. That's true. The chat is doing some weird stuff, guys. Just want to let you know. Just want to let you know. All right. So if you guys want to keep this going for another 10 minutes, I'm going to need you to put some stuff in the chat. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, nobody reminded me, but that's okay. Um, was so I was making lunches for we have a young man, Julie's son, who lives with us most of the time, should I say. And I don't think he's ever learned, um, you know, that things just don't happen. And for some reason, one of the things that we don't teach our kids anymore is that nothing is for free, and that everything that is being provided to them came at a cost. So I'm making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches this morning because the kid eats like a weed. But you know, he eats like a weed, is growing like a weed. He eats like a hungry bear. And so I got to make him two peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for his lunch every day. And the kids never once said thank you to me. And I don't take it personally because I like to think about things retrospectively. He's not a child that I have raised, so it's difficult to come in and play dad for somebody else's son, and I refuse to do it unless they want me in their life like that. Anyway, getting back on point, that lunchbox that's full of food came at the expense of someone else in your life. And I don't think that, it's like, so that peanut butter sandwich was made by somebody, and that peanut butter was bought by somebody, and that somebody had to make money. And so that somebody used their time to provide for you, their effort, their work to to provide for you. And I don't think that our children understand this this message, this idea, uh, you know, um, and I think that we should be teaching our kids these things. It's my children when at the point where they stopped going, taking lunches to school because they stopped doing that when they were in high school. We qualified for the state plan, so they ate school lunches. But when they stopped taking lunches. They had already learned that lesson because I would make them make their own lunches. And if they didn't make their own lunches, they didn't eat lunch. In fact, I got phone calls from the school all the time, and I would tell them to go pound sand, go away. If you're that concerned, go buy them lunch. They need to learn these life lessons, and that's my job, not yours. So basically, have a Coke and a smile, and you should know the rest. So all of my kids learn that lesson, and it's very surprising to see that this generation, like watching this generation, as a senior in high school, not understanding these lessons. And the funny thing too is if you try to teach that lesson so far, so late in life, then you're just going to get, well, I know that. It's like, well, why are you a selfish little prick then? You know what I'm saying? Those are the wrong words. That's mean. Well, then why are you acting like you don't know that? And then, that's just going to be a fight that's not going to be worth having. And I'd just rather be a nice guy. So, but I think that that's still a life lesson that we should be teaching our kids. I'm going to continue to do what I need to do. I'm not going to care about that stuff. It's too late now. But hopefully one day our children will learn that lesson from somebody. So, let's see here. Stuff in the chat. He has a hollow leg. I know. I used to, my, my, my boys, they all ate like monsters. I have four boys, and they ate like monsters. It was very common to, uh, you know, they would eat so fast that they would never get full, and then they'd complain because their stomachs hurt. But there were many a times where I'd hear somebody moving around in the house in the middle of the night, get up with the sidearm, and there's a kid standing in the refrigerator door going, "Don't shoot me." Not a joke. It happened a few times. Um, but they learned to stay out of the refrigerator. Let's see here. Everything requires work, even chewing and swallowing. Very true. Very true. Let's see. Rose says, taught the meaning of the P word, please and thank you as well. Yeah, there you go. Miko showed up. I'm late. I know, right? Why are you always so late, man? Let's see here. How was the geek when I oh What was the geek when I was in school? I only had to go half day running to corner shop and order of off pizza. I got you, Miko. I got you. Okay, so we're rolling up on 10:30. You guys have about 4 minutes left. If there's anything that you want to talk in the chat, now is the time to post it. I do not know what the delay is. I want to thank. It says I have 31 concurrent viewers, but on the screen it says I honestly I can't read what it says on the screen. It's too damn small. 32, 33, something like that. Um, so we are rolling along. I will take under advisement the live stream about the necessity for death in the world. There were several of you that wanted to hear about it and the logic behind it. It's actually pretty simple, but like I said, I have to figure out how to word it. Use the proper verbology so that YouTube will not freak the hell out and the left wing snowflakes will not go absolutely crazy. Let's see here. It says 30 on mine. I got you, Bradley. It's always I have some of the software I use tells me what the immediate count is. Some of it says what's concurrent. It's like YouTube is fickle anyway. It's like it's like I can look at one piece of one of the screens on YouTube that developers have, and it'll say that I have like 400 views on a video, and then I'll go to the main screen, it'll tell me I have 35, and it's like, come on, man, catch up, catch up. But yeah, YouTube is what it is. All right, guys. So we're rolling around. I don't see you guys putting any more content in. Or I think we're at the point where you just are listening to my voluptuous voice, my soft and satin tones. But I want to thank you guys for meeting. Oh, wait a minute. You don't need no hard work is at trying to get a Siberian Husky in the house at winter time. They love this. That's true. Let's see. Hero says, just curious why my name didn't appear on the tally board. What? Hold on a second here. Start another. Well, it's closed out on the tally board. I don't know what that is. I think it did. I mean, we can scroll back up. I mean, we'll probably break the chat, but let's see. I'm gonna scroll. Um, so scrolling. Light Raider, Catitude, David. Um, I think the chat basically, because it's a live chat, it can only hold so much. And you were one of the top ones. You were one of the first ones. So you may have been the very first one. But I'm pretty sure I said thank you, and I had to have known it. That means it was on the board. Let's see here. Have a great day and good morning, K Kim. Yeah, K Kim. Hopefully you're feeling. K Kim showed up. She's late to the party, but that's okay. Hopefully you are feeling better today. But it is what it is. Uh, West Virginia Hegseth's confirmation hearing thoughts. Um, I watched the entire thing. Had to watch it in pieces yesterday because I was making videos and doing other things. But the I thought he did great. Absolutely. I thought he knocked it out of the park. They did everything in their power. They tried to coerce him. They tried to talk about lies. They tried to turn words around on him. The big one was they tried to use his book against him about his feelings towards women in combat, not the military. And let's see, they tried to say that he wasn't qualified because he had only ran up to 200 people at one time. Um, they just tried to disqualify him. Is what they tried to do, and they were not successful. He will be confirmed. You know, we do hold the majority in the Senate, and everybody on the Republican side in the Senate is for him. There were two holdouts, but I think that the political powers that be and the leverage that is being held by Captain Red Tie and his people in the Senate will apply significant pressure to these outliers to get the vote that they want. Also, I think that there are a lot of Democrats that are in the Senate that are starting to come online and realize that what has been towing the party line has not been a successful venture for long-term Democrats in the Senate. You know, you can only play crazy for so long, guys. You can only be, it's like, you can't wake up one morning of being an ass, and then say, "Man, have I been an ass this whole time?" Someone has to bring it to your attention because you'll do it naturally. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we change people. This is how we change mentalities. This is how we make people better people. And I think that there's going to be a significant amount of political pressure in the midterms on Democrats because they were towing these party lines, and the people that are at power, the Senate Majority Leader, the Senate Majority Whip, and then obviously our global overlords that are empowering these people. However you want to look at it, that's your business. Um, are going to try to put significant pressure on them to bring the votes in, which won't work. So we're going to start to find people that are going to walk away from the party lines on things that just make sense. The country is in shambles right now. The country is holding on by a very thin thread that apparently only Captain Red Tie can tie off. And all of the people that are around him, that surround him, that are in his sphere of control, are um, are very willing to do whatever he wants to do to make things better because their elections are both in jeopardy if they do not. And we've said this before. We said this the first time he was the president. We said this the 2 years before the midterms before he was the president. So what do you got? 2014. Where we had the red wave. And so you're talking about something that's been going on for 10 years. We had all of the power in 2014 and we just wasted it. You know what I'm saying? We threw it away. And so, I think that the American citizenry has to stay on these people, make it abundantly clear that, you know, this is not going to be screw up, move up anymore. We are done with this. The Americans have spoken and we are tired of your crap. So I think that's going to be what it is. That was a great subject. Great subject. We got all that. Yeah, it doesn't show David as well, but well, yeah, well, David, what is it? David just donated. He didn't do the goal. He just did a super chat. So, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So you guys got 33 extra minutes out of me today. Yeah. Yeah. What did Catitude do? What's that say on the chat there? What is that? What is going on here? What is that? Catitude. You're talking about that's not the leaderboard. That's just like that's where somebody does something. That's not the leaderboard. And it only holds 5 things. So yeah, it's early on. It's early on. Like if somebody subscribed right now during the live stream, it would pop up. If somebody became a member or somebody gave a donation, it would pop up there. So all right, guys. Looks like we've been able to hold this out for that extra 34 minutes. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. As usual, you guys are super duper and hold me up and raise me up and keep me thinking about the things that help people. And I appreciate you. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off for that. I got to start making another video. I found this really cool device. I can't. I'm not even going to show you what it is. You're just going to like look at the back of the box. This thing is freaking cool. I'm going to give it a try, make a video about it. I'm also going to start testing this bad boy right here. Normally I just put stuff in my pockets, but I figured I'd give this a shot. This is pretty cool. Um, I may make a video about it. Maybe it'll probably just be a members only video because it's not like a super duper product. It's just kind of cool. It's kind of a cool product. It's something I want to start trying to do. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to turn this thing off. We're going to finally run out of words. So as usual, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on the way out the door if you have not done that yet. I want to, yeah, stay safe. Have a great day. And I shall see you when I see you, which will be tomorrow, unless you're a member, and I'll be in the Discord. All right, guys. I've ran out of things to say at the end. Bye bye. That one. I have buttons down here.